Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is taken from a normal game. I was just practicing a little bit since I hadn't played as much Teamfight Tactics recently, and what I had played had been the Set 3 Revival, so I was trying to just get a little bit of additional practice in terms of playing this game. So this is taken from a normal game, and this is going to be a Bruiser team composition, and a team composition that features Karthus. So we'll have more to say about Karthus later on in this video. As a forecast, he's not going to show up until a bit later on, but rest assured, we will get to see lots of Karthus gameplay before this one is done. We have here on our starting portal, I was hoping to get the 3-cost champion start. This is one of my favorite starts, gives you a little direction at the start of the game. Instead, we do not get that, we get the Treasure Armory one. This one's not terrible. This is the Treasure Dragon from set 7. So it basically just injects some additional loot into the game. Everybody gets some more econ. One nice thing about it is if you do need a specific component, just as you could with the Treasure Dragon, you can reroll until the component that you see pops up, although it does cost some additional gold to do that. So if there's one specific component you need, you can keep rerolling for it. But in any case, like I said, I don't love this one. I don't hate it. I don't love it, don't hate it. It's somewhere in between. At least it doesn't show up until the end of the game. Now, I did not go into this game with any particular plan in mind, but I have an initial Olaf, and then the game gives me an Olaf headliner who's a Bruiser headliner. I actually thought it was a pentakill headliner the first time I clicked on this, but I was like, oh wait, no, it's actually Bruiser. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, well, maybe we'll just play a Bruiser game here. I can play Olaf for the early game, and then look to transition into another Bruiser later on. 6 Bruisers is a build that's pretty reliable top 4 if you get the pieces for it early on. It usually does not win lobbies. As I said, it's more of a top 4 the lobby because it tends to be strong early game, mid game. Your units have so much health that it's really hard to deal with just the Bruisers having, I don't know, maybe like 2,500 health at a time when most units have like 700 or 800 health. It's just very hard to get through all that. But over the course of the gameplay, damage scales up higher and higher and higher, and then all that health doesn't really do as much for you at the end of the game. It's still not bad. I think 6 Bruisers has a average finish of like 3.9 or something in the data, which is quite good. But it's not as good as some of the other things. Okay, so initial augment is gold. I'm okay with that. Deathblade, Gambler's Blade, I would seriously think about picking these up if I had like a strong AD unit to play through, like a backliner. I don't know, like if I had a 2-star, I don't know, Jinx or 2-star Corki or something like that. Or if I had gotten an early like Misfortune or an early Samira to drop from the minion rounds, but I didn't get any of those things to drop. So as a result, I'm going to ignore them. I'm going to take Vampirism. This is a scaling one. Your team gets additional health and it gets additional lifesteal based on your tactician, that is you the player, losing health. As you start to lose more of that, you gain additional, your units I believe gain additional health, and I know that they gain additional lifesteal. It's been one of the stronger performers in the data for a while, so it's not going to do a lot here at the start of the game, but as the game goes on, it's going to be stronger and stronger. I also thought that would be a good fit for the Bruiser trait because it does provide health to your team, and that synergizes innately with the Bruiser trait, which gives percentage-based max HP, so I thought there was some synergy there. Now, the other big thing that happened on this start of Stage 2 is I got 2 more Olafs in my store. I already had 5 of them. I went up to 7 Olafs just like that. So I was like, you know, my plan was to play this Olaf headliner for the early game and then look to sell and transition into another headliner as the game goes on. But at this point I was like, I think maybe we just try to 3-star Olaf and just keep him the whole game. I mean, he's going to fall off in the late game to be sure, but if he can carry me through the mid and early game and then get me to the late game when I can have other carries take over. Typically, if you're playing 6 Bruisers, the endgame carries are Karthus and Akali. You kind of have like this super tanky front line, and then it just stalls and stalls and stalls, and then Karthus kills things behind it, and Akali dashes around killing things behind it, and that's kind of the way that the build works. But I was like, you know, if I hit 3-star Olaf, maybe I just don't want to sell this unit. You can see I've actually gone ahead and made a 2-star Taric randomly, so I will just play the Taric in this fight as well. I'm also up against this person who's playing a disco board, and they have the Goldmancer's staff. So I need to get through the front line. Fortunately, I do, but a little bit of bad RNG here. My itemized Olaf is the one that's being focused by the Nami. So every like 3 seconds, Nami is tossing this Olaf in a bubble, and that's really, really cutting down on the damage that Olaf can do in this fight. If the other Olaf were the one being targeted, pretty sure I win this fight pretty easily. So it's my unitemized Olaf that's left, and oh, wow. That's an unfortunate loss, and on top of that, I get stuck at 6 gold here. So you might have seen I had 3 1-cost units that I could sell, but even if I sold them, it would only get me to 9 gold. So I was not able to hit the income threshold, and I also had a win streak interrupted. So oof, a little bit unfortunate there. It was a super close fight, but unfortunately they came out on top. So like I said, I wasn't on a big winning streak, but it would have been nice to win that round and just carry through a win streak. Just because now it's reset back to basically to 0 once again. I think my board overall is pretty decent. Olaf Headliner with the Bruiser trade in is pretty strong for this stage of the game. It's a little disappointing I haven't been able to get Pentakill trade in. If I had Pentakill trade in, I would have 100% won that fight, but have not been seeing those units. I have finally seen a Kale, so I'm going to go ahead and put Kale on the board. One nice thing about Kale is she can hold Karthus' items. Now, their itemization is not especially the same. Kale kind of wants attack speed. She wants like Rage Blade. She wants like Rage Blade, Gunblade, and then the third option is kind of whatever. That's not quite what Karthus wants. Karthus wants a Spear of Shojin into Jeweled Gauntlet, and then his third item is kind of whatever you want to make it. So it's not quite the same, but it's reasonably decent. So you can put AP items on Kale, and she can hold them for the time being. So that's not bad. I'm going to intend to use Kale as an item holder for Karthus in this game. But for the moment, Olaf is the featured unit. So I'm going to try to get an Olaf item here. I have a belt on my bench. I would really like to do something with that belt. And out of the options here, I suppose one nice thing about losing that round is I do get the third pick on the carousel. I'm going to go ahead and take the sword because sword plus belt is a recipe I don't make that often. This is the Sterix. Sterix Gauge, is that the correct title? It is the replacement for the old Zeke's Herald, but it's very good on tanky frontline champions. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and make that pass self Sterix Gauge. Yes, very helpfully highlighting that. So it gives health, gives attack damage, also has the useful property where once per fight when your health gets low, let me just read officially what this one says. Once per fight when your unit hits 60% health, gain 20% max health and 35% attack damage. So obviously Bruisers gaining 20% additional max health is really good on Bruisers, and then 35% attack damage is just going to be good for Olaf because, you know, that's what he does, is he's an AD unit. He is an AD auto attacker. For his last item slot, could be whatever. Like, Quicksilver Sash is good on Olaf because you might have noticed from that fight against Nami, he tends to get crowd controlled. That is a bit of an issue. His damage is all based on auto attacking, so if he's ever not auto attacking, that's a problem for him. He does gain additional attack speed as he gets lower. He's the only unit in this set that doesn't have mana, by the way. I should probably just read his official ability description. Here we go. Olaf, passive, heal health on every attack. For every 1% missing health, gain attack speed. So there you go. He always heals on his auto attacks, and yeah, as he loses health, he gains additional attack speed. So he can be deceptively difficult to finish off in a fight sometimes. And when he gets down to, like, I don't know, 10% health, he gains 90% attack speed. And again, every auto attack, he gets health back. So he definitely is going to be healing for more and more with each one of those strikes. So very similar to Warwick from some of the other sets. I'm thinking of set 6 Warwick, where they really didn't balance him very well. That's a while ago now at this point. Set 6.5 Warwick was like comically unbalanced. Itemization's pretty similar too. So like I said, maybe we get a Quicksilver Sash. Maybe we can get a Bloodthirster. That's also a good item. Hand of Justice, not bad either. So a number of different options there. But Olaf has been carrying us through the whole early game. By the way, there's another Olaf, but what else am I missing up to this point? Yeah, no Bruisers, no Tom Kenches, no Gragas, no Set, nothing. No Bruisers thus far. So I am absolutely drowning in Olafs here, but I cannot seem to find another Bruiser to save my life. It's okay though. The Bruisers will show up eventually. I'm not too concerned about that. The Bruisers will show up. I'm a little concerned that I'm not seeing any Pentakill units either. So it's like all of my Bruiser and all my Pentakill units are just being contained within the body of Olaf. And I can't find any other Pentakill units, and I can't find any other Bruisers. In any case, though, I do get an Olaf from this orb drop, so okay, that just makes Olaf 3-star. Okay, that was about as easy of a unit as I've ever had, making a 3-star unit. I didn't have to reroll even one time, and I have a 3-star unit on 2/7. That's pretty insane. I mean, I'll take it. That's certainly a high roll. So we just get the Olaf 3-star effortlessly, and I should be able to continue to play through this unit throughout the rest of stage 3. Olaf would be starting to fall off right about now, except that I just 3-starred him. So yeah, he's not going to fall off for a while. He should be able to take me through stage 3. Now you can also see the disappointment of losing that one round to the Nami board. I would be on full win streak if I had won that round, and there's good odds for this win streak to continue throughout this stage 2 because I just 3-starred the Olaf. But unfortunately, I did lose that one round, so win streak did come to a close. By the way, I'm not going to level to level 5 here. I would probably do so if I had anything to put in. I do not. I guess I could buy the Jax and put that in, but I didn't think that would really do anything. Jax would just give Monster Trait to the or what is it, the Urgot that I've slapped on this board. Urgot I picked up because I thought I'd be finding Gnar, and then that would put Monster Trait in play, but I have not found Gnar. Still has not shown up yet. And yes, Olaf kills everything on that board pretty easily. Not much to worry about there. So now the goal is let's get to level 8 as quickly as possible. We don't need to reroll for anything. And I got a couple options here. Pandora's items is always a thought. But I was actually reasonably happy with the items on my bench. You take Pandora's if you... I do like it as a... I've said this before. I like it as a silver augment. By the way, there's a Gragas. We'll get him on the board. That gives us a unit to play at level 5. I've said before, I like Pandora's augment as a silver augment because, you know, as I've said before, all the tiers of Pandora's do the same thing. They just reroll your items. So getting it at a silver tier, I actually kind of like. But I'm pretty happy with the items I have thus far. I've got a rod there. I'm gonna want a jeweled gauntlet for Karthus. I'm gonna want a spear of Shojin for Karthus. So I kind of have pieces for both of those. Olaf has very good items, and I don't think I really need to re-roll anything. So I'm kind of good with what I'm getting so far. That means I can go ahead and take Young and Wild and Free, which is another one of the best ones to get when you are out in front of the lobby. So I have a lot of health here. I'm expecting that I'm gonna probably win a lot more of these rounds. I'll probably be picking last or next to last on these carousels. So getting Young and Wild and Free and getting carousel priority is super duper nice. By the way, and this fight, this person's hit 3-star Annie. So yeah, the Annie focuses the Olaf, and he doesn't really have any magic resistance, so he dies kind of fast. This is a situation where I would need other units to pick up the slack, but that does not happen. So that Annie hits really hard right now, but because that Annie has no attack speed, that's not going to scale great into the late game, just as an FYI. All right, so I do finally find Tahm Kench, so we'll put him on the board. Note that every single unit is a 1-star except for Olaf, who's a 3-star. Pretty silly setup here. So and on top of that, I don't even have any pairs aside from the Mordekaiser pair I just picked up. So 1 Tahm Kench, 1 Gragas, 1 Kale, and then I just hit the pair of Mordekaisers. And by the way, Mordekaiser's not even someone I'm going to play on the final board here. He's just in here to activate Pentakill traits. So I don't know what's up with my RNG in this game. It's so bizarre. 9 Olafs, but I can't get more than 1 copy of like every other unit I'm looking for. Very, very, very strange here. In any case, though, I did lose that round to the Annie, so that's a bit of a shame. But Olaf seems to be doing just fine against pretty much anything else. I am a 1-threat comp right now. All my damage is concentrated in Olaf, so setups that are good against one-threat comps, like Annie. Annie is single-target damage until she activates her passive, and unfortunately, she was focusing Olaf at the start of that fight. But anything that's strong against a 1-threat comp is gonna be good against me at the moment. All right, now remember, I'm first pick, Young and Wild and Free, so it took me a second. I was like, all right, I am gonna take this sword because I think I would like to make a Bloodthirster for Olaf's last item. Also, it is on a Poppy, who is a 4-gold champ, and I can actually play the Poppy for Monster Trait. Poppy can be next unit in. So I think that that's the best option out of anything here. I love taking the 4-cost units when I have Young and Wild and Free, and I have first pick on the carousel. I love grabbing 4-cost units on this carousel, 5-cost units on the next carousel, because it just denies the rest of the lobby the chance to play these units. It is, again, one of the biggest catch-up mechanics in the game is when you're behind, when you're losing health, you get first pick on the carousel, so you could be like, oh, hey, there's a Poppy on the carousel. I am going to be looking to play... I'm going to be looking to play an emo board. Okay, well, that gets me the 4-cost unit I need to play Annie in like an emo board. Well, now you can't get it because I've just taken it from you. I've sniped it from you. There was also a Blitzcrank on the board, but Blitz doesn't really fit the board. I mean, I guess I could play him for Sentinel trait, but I'm going heavy into vertical bruisers, so Blitzcrank isn't really going to do anything for me. So anyway, like I said, by the way, here's the Nami board that I hit earlier and lost to earlier. So Olaf, let's see, can he cut through the front line? He keeps getting stunned, unfortunately, over there. He got hit by, which unit? I think he got hit by the Echo. I'm not 100% sure. But he does not seem to be getting focused by the Nami in this fight. By the way, this person's printing a lot of money with their Gold Mancer, and they managed to hit 2-star Lulu pretty effortlessly, so that's kind of scary. There's a lot of CC on this board, and as I've said before, Olaf does not deal well with CC, but he is a 3-star unit, so he's going to get through the Nami. Now he's on the Lulu. Okay, finally. Finally, Olaf has to be like, Jesus Christ, I finally made it to the back line and could start killing things. Anyway, though, like I said, I'm just trying to play the econ game, stay over 50 gold, try to go on a win streak, try to beat these people. Someone's win streaking with a country board. Kind of surprised they're win streaking. Their board doesn't actually look that strong, but I think they have a Katarina headliner that's been doing reasonably well. Anyway, though, like I said, continue to play 4 Bruiser. I have the 4 Pentakill in, although this is not going to be a heavy Pentakill game. It's intended to be a heavy Bruisers game. And hopefully I can just continue to lean on Olaf to get me through the early and mid game. And then in the late game, as I said, we're going to try to turn it over to Karthus and Akali, just depending on what we see. I don't think anyone else is playing Pentakill in this lobby, or if someone's playing it, they're one of the people that's low on HP and isn't playing it particularly well, something like that. Because I haven't seen a lot of people playing the Pentakill units. I just am not hitting them. As I said, I've seen 1 Gnar, and 2 Kales and 2 Mordekaisers, and then a billion Olafs, and then more Olafs than I know what to do with, other than just 3-starring him. So anyway, there's another Gragas, and we can go ahead and level. Again, we'll put in the Poppy here. Poppy, great unit, just not really something that fits this board. If I could somehow get a Bruiser emblem, Poppy would be an amazing person to put it on. She would probably be the #1 target in the whole game to put a Bruiser emblem on. The one other exception I could think of would be Yorick. Yorick might be better because he's a Pentakill unit. Making Bruiser Yorick would probably be a little bit better, but it would be between Poppy and Yorick. They'd be the best targets in the game. Okay, so as far as other units, there is a set, thank goodness. Now we can get set on the board for 5 Bruisers. Now I just need to find Zac for 6 Bruisers. So I'm going to continue leveling here. I also can go ahead and make a Jeweled Gauntlet here. That's going to be great on Karthus when I can eventually find him. I do have the build. I could do another Sterix. I don't think that would be terrible, but I still am going to try to hold out and see if I can make a Bloodthirster there. I'm also going to take out the Mordekaiser because I don't need him anymore. Again, he was just in there for Pentakill trait. I don't really need another tank. I'm tanky enough. So we'll put the Set in, and Set also gives me Mosher trait. And now Gnar is free to come out. If I can find Zac, I'll just take out the Gnar and play... oh no, I need Gnar for Pentakill. I would take out the Poppy if I could find a Set. Now, I am expecting my board to start to fall off, as I said here. I do have the 3-star Olaf, but he's going to be falling off right now. I really need another source of damage. Like, Olaf's great, but I need another carry to help come in and take over. Olaf, if I can get to 6 Bruiser by finding Zac, or I guess Alawi, but Zac's more likely. If I can find one of those 2 units to get the 6 Bruiser, and it is a huge, huge spike for my particular setup. It looks like we're going to win this round, but as I said, I'm expecting my board to start losing rounds soon. No one on the rest of the team is doing anything. It's still just Olaf. But we have time for one more augment, and it is Prismatic. And I was like, Prismatic. I kind of wanted a lower power level in this lobby. Prismatics make the whole lobby stronger, and Bruiser's kind of a low power level lobby, so I was like, all right, I'm going to take the Prismatic ticket. I think that's the best thing I can do here. Let's go ahead and we'll put Zac on the board. We can now drop something if we want. But I guess for the moment, we can continue playing everything. So I now have the 6 Bruiser in, and I am already level 8. So it's a good time to take Prismatic, take the Prismatic one, Prismatic ticket, excuse me, because I'm going to be re-rolling here. I'm going to be re-rolling to try to hit, well, all of my units that are 1 stars, I want to upgrade to 2 stars. I need to find Karthus. I need to find Akali. I want to find maybe Alawi. That would be nice if I could find her. But like, I need the 2-star Set. I need the 2-star Zac. I need the 2-star the Tom Kench and the Gragas. And then I need to find Karthus in 2-star and Akali in 2-star. That's a long list of things I have to find. So getting a lot of free rerolls here is going to be pretty nice. What I can do is just try to save up 50 gold, and then when I get 50 gold, try to slow roll here on level 8. That way I have very good odds to see the 4 costs, and I think I have pretty good odds to see the 5 costs as well. Well, not good odds. I have 3% odds, but, you know, if I force enough shops, I can get it. Also here, Olaf gets on the Annie, but then he unfortunately dies to the Annie when he's like 2 attacks away from killing Annie. Yeah. That person still wins even though they have like 8 items on the bench, but it's okay. We're getting there. And then, oh, what's this? We have a Sona. Okay. Well, that's kind of interesting. Sona's a good fit for this board. She can give my team attack speed. Again, I am playing a stall comp here. So if these fights stall out, she can give give the Olaf some additional attack speed. That's going to be nice. So I think she's a good fit for my board because I am playing like the mother of all stall comps right here. In addition to that, Karthus is also a unit that really wants to play a stall comp in front of him. So this is a setup that'll work if I can get that. Now, if I could just 2-star my board is so weak outside of the Olaf. At least I managed to get one other 2-star. It's the Gragas. It's like hilarious how I have not found units outside of the Olaf. But with Prismatic Ticket, it's just a matter of time. I will start finding units soon enough. It's just basically guaranteed to happen because I'm going to be re-rolling and getting more shops. I would like to get up to 50 gold first. I know I re-rolled a little bit there. I was trying to see if I could find any more units, hoping I could find at least like one Karthus. Anyway, this is the Punk board. They appear to be in some trouble because they're level 6, no gold. They actually did hit some of their 3-stars, but their itemization is not very good. Really need like a Last Whisper on Jinx. They made Red Buff over Last Whisper on Jinx. You really need the Last Whisper on her. Red Buff also has gotten nerfed in a lot of these patches. Okay, I guess someone else is playing a Pentakill setup because I saw Karthus on one of these boards. Time for a carousel. I have Young Malden free. That means I get to pick first. There's an Alawi, so I am 100% taking that. That will, again, deny everybody else the chance to take Alawi, and it means I can replace Tahm Kench with Alawi, who is much, much, much better. Much better. There's a reason why Alawi is so hard to find, is she's probably the best tank in this set. So even people, like no matter what board you're playing in the late game, people will usually just grab Alawi and stuff her with another bruiser on the board. Plus there's like lots and lots of bruisers that you can fit her with. It's like Disco, you're going to play Gragas, stuff Alawi on the board. EDM, you're going to play Zac, stuff Alawi on the board. Heartsteel, you're playing Set, stuff Alawi on the board. You get the idea. She's just really, really, really good. But now I have her in my 6 bruiser comp, so that's going to be very nice. Okay, and I do get the free reroll here, so we might as well reroll. Karthus. Right on schedule. We will go ahead and transfer these items over to Mr. Karthus here, and I get another free reroll. There's a Set. Let's keep going here. I mean, I'm going to keep using my free rerolls at least. And oh, Yorick, that's a high roll. I can just take out the Gnar and play Yorick. So I'm going to have the board that has all kinds of crazy garbage on the board. We're going to have the Alawi tentacles. We're going to have the Yorick ghouls. We're just going to have stuff everywhere. So it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt to deal with over there. Anyway, now that Karthus is on the board, Karthus provides a lot of needed support for the other units. The basic goal is all the bruisers stand around and tank, and then Karthus will slowly start to kill things. He will attack much, much, much faster once Sona gets that attack speed off. And by the way, am I actually going to win this fight? Yeah. Sure didn't look like I was going to win that one, did it? But eventually I do manage to clutch that one out. Yeah, my board is good at stalling, like I said. So the chance to stall and get a chance for Karthus to get additional casts off is really nice because Karthus is inbuilt natural scaling. By the way, I have like all frontline units, so it's kind of difficult for Olaf to get up there. And then I've got these tentacles. I wasn't really quite sure what optimal positioning would be here. I was going to try to put Olaf on the side because he's a little bit less likely to get focused if he's over on the side, but I'm going to have to figure something out. Anyway, if you are curious, while we have this round here, it looks like I got hit with the Shroud of Stillness on, both the Karthus and the Sona. That's bad. They both have huge mana costs. If you're curious on the cheat sheet, though, with the Bruiser trait, I haven't been covering this as much. Bruisers, again, they gain additional percentage-based max health. Bruiser 2 doesn't really give you that much. It's 20% max health. Bruiser 6, though, 90% max health. So the units almost double their health when you get the Bruiser 6. It's really quite significant. So it's very good for stalling. Again, it doesn't add to damage or anything like that. And you can have fights like this where the Lulu 3-star just punches right through. Lulu 3-star just does too much damage, too much crowd control. She keeps polymorphing the Olaf. That definitely looks like the strongest board. Now we have our Treasure Dragon round. It's called Warlord's Palace, but it's the Treasure Dragon round. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, honestly, these items are pretty good. Anima Visage is great. Anima Visage means that you get percentage-based heal. What is it? The units heal for 4.5% of their max HP each round. The bow I don't really care that much about, but that Anima Visage is absolutely crazy. And there's 2-star Karthus. Okay. I'm good with that. I guess I could technically also play Viego here if I wanted to, but I don't really have a slot for Viego. I really need an Executioner. In fact, I probably should play like Vex over Sona, because I really would like Executioner trait for Karthus. Here I actually kind of make a mistake. I think for some reason that I'll just play Jin over Sona. I don't know what I was thinking. Jin with no big shot trait does absolutely nothing. If Sona with no items is actually still useful to the team, and then another Sona pops up. This was pretty dumb. I could have been close to Sona 2-star here. Sona with no items actually is useful to the team because, as I said, Sona will give the whole team attack speed. It might take her 15 seconds to get her cast off, but she is still going to be useful to the team if she can get that off. A Jin with no big shot trait in. By the way, here I'm going to reforge, and I actually get a cloak. Cool. I can finally make that Bloodthirster, and I'll make Hand of Justice for Karthus. And then I want to put this Animal Massage on someone. I was like, all right, Illaoi's probably the best unit to put this on. If I can two-star her, it's going to be absolutely amazing, but it's going to be a little tricky to two-star her. Anyway, though, as I was saying, Jin with no traits in and no items, he's just complete dead weight. He's not going to do anything. Even though I have a stall board, and he tends to be really good on stall boards, this is just not the right unit here. The Sona would definitely be better. So yeah, Jin's going to die, and I think I looked at the damage chart for what he did in this fight, and he really didn't do much. This is the other board I'm concerned about. As I said, the Lulu 3-star board I think is one of the strong ones. I think this is the other strong board. They're just scaling up on Heartsteel trait. They already have 8 Yones. They have a Tactician's Crown. Clearly, they're just getting a billion things from Heartsteel. In any case, though, I finally get the Akali, so we'll go ahead and play that. Definitely put that on the board. That puts Executioner trait in for Karthus. This will allow him to critically strike, although he didn't need that because he already had a Jeweled Gauntlet, but it allows his ult to critically strike if he doesn't have that already. And then it also gives extra crit chance. And I think you deal extra crit damage as well. Hold on, what is it? Yeah, extra crit damage and additional crit chance as well. So that's pretty nice there. It's mostly just so that we can play through the Karthus. The Akali does not have any items. I haven't been itemizing, I don't have spare items left over for Akali, so she's probably just going to be in here as a trait bot, but she's the best executioner that I can play. Like, Samira's not going to do anything in this board. I don't have Emo trait in, so Vex isn't going to be that useful. Maybe Vex would be slightly more useful, but there's a lot of Vexes out of the pool. This person's trying to reroll for Vex 3-star. All right, I'm up against the 3-star Annie, and we're going to lose that one. Karthus, you got this? You got this for me? One more cast, Karthus. One more cast, and we've got this. By the way, those tentacles in the back line just doing absolutely nothing. Almost got it. Now, I am on 5 Karthuses. I've been grabbing the Karthus. And now I'm on 6 Karthuses. So at this point, I was like, okay, 3-star Karthus starting to be a realistic possibility. I still have a lot of health here. By the way, I'm going to reshuffle the tentacles up to the front lines again. I really was not quite sure how to position this front line. I do want the tentacles at least doing something, because Illaoi should be able to resummon them multiple times in the fight, just so that we can get that additional value there. But I was like, yeah, I think the 3-star Karthus might actually be a possibility in this game. So I'm looking to head in that direction. As far as what Karthus does, he actually just got reworked recently. So let me go ahead and read his ability description. It's actually still out of date on the cheat sheet. But he has a passive ability. He gains ability power based on critical strike chance. So as he gets more crit chance, he actually increases his AP. Then his active ability is he deals magic damage to the lowest health enemies. I believe he starts by hitting the 5 lowest health enemies. It's either 4 or 5. He does get more, or 4 of them. He hits the 4 lowest health enemies. He always critically strikes if possible. So that's kind of interesting. If he can crit on his ult, he always will. That means a couple things. It means Jeweled Gauntlet will work. It means that if he has Executioner trait in, that'll work. And you can also have an augment like Jeweled Lotus. But if he can crit, he always will crit. And then each time he ults, he gains additional ability power. He gains more AP every single time he ults. By the way, once again, young and wild and free. So I'm going to go ahead and what am I going to take? Going to take this Yorick. The item on the Yorick is not quite as useful. It's a Giant Slayer. Not an amazing item. I could put it on Akali, I could put it on Karthus, but my thought process was I have an item remover here. I'm going to put it on Karthus. If I can get a better Karthus item later on, like if I could get ideally I'd get a Spear of Shojin. And by the way, there's another Karthus. If I can get like a Spear of Shojin later on, then I can always pop the items off Karthus. And there's another Karthus. That's 8. Oh my god. Whoa, okay, well now we just gotta roll for this, right? Now we have to at least roll down to like 30 and see if we can hit this. Come on. Come on. Come on, there's another Sona. I should have held that for later on. Alright, I think I finally stopped rolling. I didn't want to over-roll here, but still, I'm on the 8 Karthuses. Anyway, though, so like I said, Giant Slayer for now. I can always pop this off if I can find like a Spear of Shojin later. Okay. So Karthus, he is kind of a stall champ. He's kind of like the AP version of Jhin in a way. He will always hit 4 targets with his ult when he starts out. He hits the lowest health targets, so he actually doesn't do very well against things like targeting dummies or Alawi tentacles and so on, because he's going to be hitting low health targets. He's not going to be hitting the carries on the enemy team. But important, he will always critically strike if he can, so just make sure he has Executioner trait in, or the Jeweled Gauntlet like I have in here right now. And he gets AP every single time he ults. And in this fight, I have that Hand of Justice, which is a really good item to have on him here because it gives him more crit chance and it allows him to heal. He went down to low health like 3 different times in that fight, and he just kept healing off it. So I think it's a pretty good item on him. Spear of Shojin and Jeweled Gauntlet is kind of his core build. As I said, his third item can be whatever. Like, Death Cap would certainly not be bad, but to some extent it would mean he maybe is just overkilling the targets. I actually really like the Hand of Justice here because, as I said, he's going to do a lot of damage. He's going to hit 4 targets. I think by the time he was on like his 3rd cast, he was hitting all 4 targets for like 1,000 damage. So he's going to heal off that with the Hodge, and then it makes him kind of sturdy in all likelihood. This is one of the other boards, as I said, I was worried about. It's the Ezreal Heartsteel board. They have 2-star Ez, they have 2-star Lucian, they have 3-star Yone. That's kind of concerning. They're also on 6 Ezreals. I popped over to their board because this is a ghost round. What I need is I need Karthus to kill the Ezreal on the back lines. So Ez is going to hit Karthus. That's actually probably good because it generates mana for Karthus. And then he just heals right back up to full off his Hand of Justice. So that Hodge, I kind of just made that because I had the components, but it's actually coming in super handy. And again, Lucian chips him down, but boom, right back up to full again off the Hodge. So again, Lucian's going to chip him down, but he's going to heal back up. Oh no, he actually died that round. I thought he was going to heal again, but Olaf has it. So that was, again, close. It was a ghost round though, so it's hard to say what would happen in a real fight there. So again, we're just still rolling here, trying to stay above 50 gold. One more Karthus. Can we hit it? Oh, there it is. There it is. Excuse me. Gotta be careful about my maniacal cackles there. So it says Karthus there. Yeah, there's the thing highlighted. Deal 1,450 magic damage to the 6 lowest health targets. Oh boy. I don't know if that includes the critically striking bonus or not, but yeah, the 3-star goes up to hitting 6 targets at once instead of 4. That is a big deal. And the scaling also goes up as well. The damage basically doubles. Yeah, it goes from 260% to 580%. That's actually higher than doubles. It's like 2.3 times the damage. So damage more than doubles. Anyway, here I had the chance to go ahead and pick an item. I go ahead and take the Bloodthirster for Akali. It's a good item on Akali. I don't know that it's amazing in this situation. This is probably a mistake. I probably should be taking a frontline item. What is Akali really doing in these fights? She's honestly just in here as a trait bot. What I need is just infinite frontline to stall for Karthus so he can kill everything. So that's probably a mistake. If anything, I should probably just transfer that over to, like, I don't know, the Yorick or the Alawi, because it does provide the extra shield, which would be worth a lot of health for Bruiser units. Anyway, Karthus, when he ults, he kills everything that he hits pretty much, and he's going to get chipped by the Lucian, but boom, he's going to ult again, and where did Lucian go? Where did Ezreal go? Yeah, there's no escaping from this. Now, I do have to be careful, though, because look at this player. They have 7 Ezreals, and they have a duplicator. So they only need 1 more Ezreal for Ezreal 3-star, and that is a concern. I do not want them getting Ez 3-star and then scaling up off Heartsteel trait. So I'm going to grab Ezreals and take them out of the pool. I don't care about Akali 3-star. I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm just trying to see what I can find. There's more Akalis, but as I said, I don't think that really matters that much. So keep rolling here. Kate. No, Kate doesn't do anything for me here. Bard. I don't have Jazz trade in, so Bard's not going to do anything. I was like, get in there, Thresh. I do have a Yorick on the board. I guess that makes Guardian trait. This is not what I want, but there's another Ez, and there is a Sona. Once again, I like to put Sona on this board, and now I'm really kicking myself for not holding the Sonas earlier. I've actually had 2 Sonas earlier in the game. This could, in theory, be Sona 3-star if I'd been holding them. Again, I know that the odds change somewhat. Oh my god. Oh my god, Karthus, what was that? Just deleted the entire team. But yeah, Sona would be a good fit for this board. I mean, I was playing her earlier briefly, but maybe I could have had the 2-star Sona if I just held them. So again, I'm trying to take Ezreals out of the pool. Normally, I would be safe right now because that person has... I have 2 Ezreals, and they need 9, but there's only 10 in the pool. So normally, I'd be safe by holding 2 Ezreals. The problem is they have a duplicator. So if they get to 8 Ezreals, even if there's no Ezreals in the pool, they can duplicate and get the third. They can get the 9th Ezreal anyway. Even if there's none in the pool. They actually changed how the duplicator worked a while ago. At one point in time, if there were none in the pool, the duplicator just didn't work. It would just bounce off, but that's no longer the case. The duplicator will create a unit out of thin air if there's none available in the pool. So I'm up against this player again. I would dearly like to get them out of the lobby. I do not want them to hit Ezreal 3-star. As you can see, I'm holding 2 Ezreals on the bench. So as of right now, 9 of the 10 Ezreals are out of the pool. That guy has 7. I have 2. And yeah, so that kills a whole bunch of stuff over there. Now I need Karthus' next ult to hit the Lucian and the Ezreal. Come on, Crowd Diver Ezreal. Well, that was Crowd Diver Ezreal. So that's going to be it for that unit. And then now we're going to be able to finish them off. And then that person's like, I was 1 off. And I was like, sorry, yeah, don't look at my bench where I'm holding 2 Ezreals. I did not want them to get that. Did not want them to get that. Anyway, another carousel. There's not that much I want here. I was hoping there'd be like another Alawi because I'm on 2 out of 3 Alawis. I thought maybe another Yorick. I'm on 2 out of 3 Yoriks. That's not the case. So I was like, all right, I'm going to take the only tank item available. I'm going to take this Gargoyle Stone Plate and I'll put it on. Going to put it on the Alawi. This is what I should have done before. You can see me checking the 1 remaining player. I'm like, are they close to 3-starring anything? No, they are not close to 3-starring anything. So there's 2-star Ezreal. That's not going to do anything now. So, okay, that's whatever. Now I'm rolling it down for the Alawi. I kind of have hit every single other unit. There's a Sona. I guess I'll lock for the Sona. It's a bit unfortunate I didn't hit the 2-star Alawi yet because she is the unit I have itemized, but she already has 1 billion health. Now she's got Gargoyle Stoneplate, so she'll get some resist from that. I do move the Karthus away at the end. Unfortunately, Sona gets shrouded, so she's not going to cast until forever. But watch the backline in this fight. So I've got the 2-star Karthus, or 3-star Karthus. They have the Lulu, they have the Ahri, they have the Seraphine. Karthus is going to ult, and whoa! What was that? They all just died instantly. They all died instantly, and this person is so frustrated, he just quits the lobby. Doesn't even wait for the round to end, just literally quits the lobby in disgust. Yeah, that is the power of 3-star Karthus. I mean, it's a 3-star 4 cost. What are you expecting? But I do think that I built the unit really well. Obviously, a lot of good RNG, but things came together, and I got the 3-star Karthus. I really wanted to hit 3-star Karthus at some point in time in this set. Karthus is my favorite League of Legends champion. People know I used to play this guy a million times back in the day in League. He was in set 1. He was not in any of the following 8 sets. He's finally here in set 10, and I wanted to 3-star him, and I'm glad I got to do it before the end of this set. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope this was entertaining. Until next time, take care, folks, and I'll see you again soon.